him.
It's just,
you
it's
got to
so
talk a
bad.
little faster though.
Yeah,
He talks so fast you can't even understand what he's saying.
Sometimes. Yeah,
you're like, I can't do that. How do you do that? How do you do that? I can't do that. And he's doing it sober. He's not like there's some dudes who do that. They're all Adderalled up.
Right.
No, he's on the natch.
Yeah, he does that, man.
Yeah,
But I like him.
dude.
Like, I liked these kids in school. I'd just be like, I was just the kid that was just like kind of like more chill and like I don't need to like. And sometimes when he just goes over stupid stuff, it's like. But I do wonder like if he's learning anymore. That's the one thing. Like, because he doesn't like to have like. It's like once he has an opinion, like I like to have conversations, and I like to be wrong about the conversation because I don't know everything. I think that's kind of like why people love this podcast so much, because you're open to learning anything. Like you'll have people on this podcast, you're like, who's he having? Because there's always something that you can learn. There's always something that you don't understand that you don't know.
If you have an open mind.
If you have an open mind, right? And I think that in many ways, and that like sometimes he's just not open to learning about certain things, and that somebody might know something about a culture beyond what he knows, and it's just like nope, that like the idea, right? Like it's just drives me crazy. But I like him.
Ben is really fucking smart, and that's the problem.
That's the problem. Exactly.
He thinks other people are stupid.
He thinks
you're
everyone
stupid. You're not
is
as smart
stupid.
as me.
Yeah.
You can't talk as fast as me.
Yeah, like like I hated, like I got so annoyed with like the Kanye West, like 4 seconds he like writes an article saying Kanye West is just crazy. And I'm like,
who did this?
Ben did? Yeah, and I wrote him an email. I was just like, dude, like I understand that to you and the way that you've done your life, this doesn't make sense, right? But this is actually really important for Black people to see.
The Kanye West thing?
It was the most important thing.
Which thing was it?
Him, him tweeting out, "I love the way Candace Owens sings," but beyond that, saying that he openly supported the president. So I can see why Ben shuts something like that down initially, because to him, like, culture is not the way you talk about politics, right? Like, because he's by the book. But he has to understand that by the book is not the way people in the hood are being raised. By the book is not the way people in the projects are being raised. These people have had their families destroyed and decimated by the welfare system, right? The fathers aren't even at the homes. The single motherhood rate jumped from 25% in 1965 to 74% today. And so these kids turn to culture to father them. They turn to Jay-Z and Beyonce and hip hop and Kanye and to tell them what's right and what's wrong. So for so long, because the left has had a stranglehold on culture, they've had a stranglehold on Black America. So the most significant thing that opened up this dialogue beyond the work that I was doing was this like simple tweet and this simple show of support from Kanye West. And I was so frustrated that he had to like in that moment just dismiss him as crazy. It's just like, dude, like just be willing to learn. Like, just be willing to say like, I don't understand why the hell this is the way that this is Black people are willing to talk about politics, right? But maybe there's something here. And I always understood that culture was the most important vertical. When Charlie and I first met and we sat down, I defined 3 verticals.
I don't know who Charlie is. You mentioned him a couple times. I don't know Charlie Kirk.
Okay, so Charlie Kirk is like this 18-year-old. Like we started Turning Point USA, who I work for, when he was 18. And he is like a savant. They call him like Trump's boy wonder. Like he's a brilliant, if you want to talk about like smart, beyond, like the smartest person I know is Charlie Kirk, hands down. And he's only 24. He didn't go to college, just like, I don't know, just like was reading weird stuff when he was 7. I don't know, like just like things that everyone's like, oh yeah, I just read that Thomas Sowell. He's like, yes, I read it when I was 6. I'm like, what? I'm like, Charlie, could you not say that? Could you be cool? But so when Charlie and I met, and I told him like my plan to sort of help Black America and to wake them up, because I understood how we had fallen victim to this brainwash.
What brainwash is that?
The leftist dogma, just this idea that because we're Black, we have to vote Democrat, and anybody that is not a Democrat is racist and against helping us. That is like what so many Black Americans believe. I believed it. You know what I mean? So, and I'm a pretty smart girl. I've always been a very smart girl. I've always been, I've excelled in academics, right? So how did I fall victim to it? The exact same system, right? These 3 verticals. The first being the family, the breakdown of the family. The second one being culture, which then to me, like growing up, it was like Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z was God to me. Like I would throw on, like I was, I went through a lot of stuff when I was a kid. I didn't have a great family, but I would throw on a Jay-Z album, and like whatever he said was like, it was like going to church, and I can't stand him now. But the third vertical.
You can't stand him now?
No, because he knows exactly what he's doing, and he's a traitor. But the third vertical being education, which was...
What a casual aside. He's a traitor.
Yeah, it's like Beyonce and Jay-Z.
How's he a traitor?
Because he knows what's happening to Black America, and he's somebody that built his entire career off the backs of Black America, of being the guy who started in the hood in Queens and worked, was a drug dealer and worked his way up, and he became the idol for so many people in Black America. And then he stands on stage and endorses Hillary Clinton. He stands on stage and tells Black America to put the same people in the White House that locked up more black men than any president in the history of the United States, Bill Clinton, right? The person that stands on the crime bill of 94 is Bill Clinton. But because Jay-Z is now focused on getting a piece of the pie, the globalist piece of the pie, he doesn't care about black America. That's my opinion. So what?
Do you think that's what it was, or do you think that maybe he thought that Donald Trump represented a lot of racist white people?
No.
He didn't want that in
God,
office.
No. Oh, God, no.
You don't think so?
Not even kind of. Not
no,
for
you don't think he felt
not
that?
For a single second.
How do you know?
Because Jay-Z's very smart.
Did you speak to him?
No, I didn't speak to him. I know. Like it's a certain thing where like I know that Jay-Z and Beyonce betrayed the black community. Like they are.
So you think they did it purposely for financial gain?
Yeah, I think that they were interested in they want to be the people that control the world, and they felt that Hillary Clinton, like they were working with Obama very closely, and very clearly now we know that the Obama administration worked very hard to get Hillary Clinton into office, and they wanted to stay in that group. And so they supported Hillary Clinton, who was selected behind closed doors, forget the American people, to be the next president of the United States.
Yeah, so selected certainly by the DNC.
Yeah, 100%. But beyond that, it was in bed with Obama. She was our Secretary of State, and she was doing deals behind closed doors. And Jay-Z and Beyonce were a part of that clique. Right?
So they were a part of the celebrated celebrities that were allowed to go to the White House, and they'd wear the ties, and everybody would be taking photo ops.
Right.
But it was a cool thing to be friends with Obama.
Right.
Like nobody wants to go to the White House and like celebrities. It's hard to get celebrities to go with Trump. There's so much controversy attached to it.
Because
it can damage your career.
Yeah, they get attacked.
Look at Roseanne.
They get attacked by people on the left and right.
Part of what's happening with Roseanne is not just that she made a racist tweet, even though she didn't know it was racist, but she supports Trump, and then her character supports Trump.
Correct. And people were looking for something to hate her over, and she handed it to them,